Hello, you're watching the Me and My Alpine playlist on the Sunbeam Alpine channel on YouTube. If you'd like to feature here and tell your Alpine story to the world, then just email me at tim_Raymond@sky.com and I'll tell you what to do. We'd love to hear your story. Today we're going to hear from
Allan Appleby and his very late Series 5.
Hello, my name is Allan Appleby and this is my Sunbeam Alpine story. I bought my Sunbeam Alpine in 2002 as an MOT failure. I've been looking for an Alpine for some time and I found this one in the yellow ads of the local paper, and it was fairly local to me. When I bought the car for just under £1,000, it was delivered onto the drive and I spent probably 3 weeks with a terrapolin, opening it up, looking underneath and thinking, what have I done? Within the boot of the car, I found a lot of paperwork relating to John Hayter and a guy called John Timms, who I'll talk about later. So the Alpine was restored over a year. We've had several modifications made to it. It's the last day of production car, being left the production line on Friday, the 26th of January 1968, which ironically was my birthday. So the Alpine restored over a year, and the aim was to produce a car that I could take to a show, it could hold its own, but I wanted to be able to use it. So each year we travel into Europe. So far we've done 2 trips to the Black Forest, we've been to the Loire Valley, we've done the Le Mans Classic on several occasions, Angoulême, and a tour of Belgium. The car's been modified just to kind of suit my purposes, but nothing which can't be kind of put right or put back to original if we wanted to. Converted to a soft top to allow me to use it more in the summer without having to take a hard top with me. The carb was converted to the new Alpine Innovations carburetor service, and we had an alloy radiator fitted to it. The car itself has only let me down on one occasion, and that was on my way to the Le Mans Classic when I broke down on the A27 by Lewis, and the head gasket had gone. Ironically, it was an AC Cobra owner who pulled up alongside me in a lay-by and had a 1725 head gasket set in Lewis at his home address. So we arranged for the car to be towed there by the AA, and we fixed it on the side of the road. So is the simplicity of the Alpine. As I said, I've owned the car now for the best part of 20 years, or just over 20 years. It has been a brilliant car. I really enjoyed it. As a child, we had several Alpines in the local area when I grew up in Portsmouth, and I always looked at them and thinking, actually, one day that'd be a car I wanted. So it was the right car at the right time, at the right place for me, and that's how it came about. So me as an individual, so I've been in the club for 20 plus years now. As I said, when I first bought the car, in the boot of the car there was documentation relating to John Hayter. So John Hayter at the time had a garage in the Newbury area and dealt an awful lot with Sunbeam Alpines, so he was able to supply me with a lot of parts I needed. He also then gave me the contact of John Timms, and again, for those who've been around for a while, John Timms was quite famous within the Alpine circles for restoring Alpines, and he had a garage on the A303. So a deal was struck that I would help him sand back and spray yellow dumper trucks, and as payback for that he would help me to restore my Alpine to what it is now. I then joined the committee in 2004, originally as an ARCC member. I then took over as membership secretary and then vice chair, and then about 8 years ago I took over as chairman, and it's a position I currently hold. The club itself is very friendly, very inclusive, and if anybody has got an Alpine, this is the club that you need to join. Let me show you around my car. Okay, so this is my car, affectionately known as Sally the Sunbeam. As I said, used extensively every summer into Europe, stored away for the winter. Soft top, just to make life very, very easy for us when we're touring, not having to take a hard top with us. But the car itself is more or less standard. I'll talk you through the bits and pieces at the moment, but inside the car, we've converted the radio to a DAB system just to allow us to have Bluetooth and to play through an iPhone. We have a navigation light and a 12-volt socket for charging phones, as is the need these days. The seats, ironically, were converted and covered for me by an ex-helicopter upholsterer. So I went all the way to the NEC from Andover to buy the leather, brought it all the way back from Andover to find that the supplier of the leather was from Stockbridge, which is about 8 miles away from where I live. But again, seats were converted. The interior was done about 20 years ago and has lasted well. In terms of the engine, so the car itself has been converted to take the new carburetor system, which again works very, very well, certainly in Europe when we're traveling. We fitted an alloy radiator with twin fans onto it, again just to help with cooling, and the car has never had an overheating problem whatsoever. It's got electronic ignition, and it's got a free flow exhaust manifold and a W.A.S.P. starting motor just to assist. So again, it's been 100% reliable other than one occasion, and that was just the run of the luck. I just happened to have a head gasket go on my way to Le Mans. Okay, so being a late Sunbeam Alpine, as I say, last day of production car and sixth from the last from the production run, it's got certain features on it. So it doesn't have the peaked headlights. It has the more modern, for the want of a better word, headlight cowls moving round. It also has just a single pen star on the passenger side of the car. These were fitted to the last kind of couple of hundred cars. The mini light wheels clearly were obviously fitted by myself just to kind of assist in the tyre selection and for the road holding, so it was converted to say 14-inch mini lights. And again with the later kind of cars, on the rear bumper, the number plate lights were mounted to the rear bumper, as you can see here, and the number plate was placed in a more upright position with a bracket behind it. So I'm Allan Appleby, and this is my Alpine story.